Welcome to Top 7 TV. Today we are going to see the top 7 best Android game. In 7th place, Mr. Pumpkin 2, Walls of Kowloon. Mr. Pumpkin 2, Kowloon Walled City is a sequel to the Mr. Pumpkin franchise. Our protagonist, an insignificant guy with a pumpkin head, will explore the Kowloon Walled City of Hong Kong and witness the stories happening within these walls. The plot is set in the historical sites of Hong Kong and is a tribute to the golden age of Hong Kong films. Explore the densely populated city and talk to just about everyone to see what mysteries they hold. Solve numerous challenging puzzles before you can progress to further parts of the game, and appreciate the complexity of the game's design, with artfully crafted elements that bring the city to life. Kowloon is literally associated with the Chinese dragon, which will be a key motif of the game. In the game, you will travel through the walled city by Hong Kong's traditional transport such as cable car, double-decker bus, and tramway, from episode to episode, experiencing a Hong Kong version of the famous painting along the river during the Qingming Festival. In 6th place, Fortnite Battle Royale. Fortnite is a battle royale game that spans mobile, PC, and consoles and allow all players to play together regardless of their chosen platform. That's one of the beauties of this game. The cross-platform play. The even better part is that you can now download the Android version straight from Google Play. Between the second chapter of the game and unique experiences, like the virtual Travis Scott concert that took place recently, you will almost always likely find something in this game that can keep you entertained. Fortnite Battle Royale in particular became a resounding success, drawing in more than 125 million players in less than a year, earning hundreds of millions of dollars per month, and becoming a cultural phenomenon. The concept of the game is 100 players skydive onto an island and scavenge for gear to defend themselves from other players. Players can fight alone, with one additional player, or with a group of up to 3 others. As the match progresses, the playable area within the island gradually constricts, giving the players less and less room to work with. The last player or team alive wins the match. In 5th place, Grease. The game follows a girl named Grease, who wakes up in the palm of a crumbling statue of a woman. She attempts to sing out, but quickly becomes choked up, and the statue's hands crumble, dropping her to the colorless earth below. After landing, the girl continues walking forward, and discovers a number of strange structures that seem to be powered by mysterious points of light resembling stars. The girl can collect these lights to gain new abilities, such as turning into a block of stone, and creating new pathways made of constellations. Along the way, she encounters various living beings, some of which help her on her journey, as well as shadowy bird-like creatures, which manifest as larger monsters that threaten to consume the girl. The final power the girl obtains is the ability to sing again, which brings life to various plants and mechanical animals. Grease features excellent music to help really lift the overall mood of the game. This is also a paid game with no ads or microtransactions. As of March 2019, Grease has sold 300,000 copies worldwide. By April 2020, sales exceeded 1 million units. In 4th place, War of the Visions. This is the latest mobile Final Fantasy game to hit Android. It's part of the same universe as Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, but it features an all-new story that isn't tied to the original Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. What makes this such an interesting game is the graphical style and gameplay. It's a tactical RPG much like Final Fantasy Tactics, and it even has the same design. The story takes place on the continent of Ardra, on the world of Lapis, the primary setting of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, and depicts a war between 5 rival nations that occurred in the distant past. As in the original title, The war is waged using the power of visions, physical manifestations of powerful warriors from different eras, and worlds summoned using crystals. The continent of Artura is also referenced in Brave Exvius, and was depicted on the game's original world map, but it is currently inaccessible and obscured by clouds. By the end of March 2020, the worldwide version of the game had been downloaded over 1 million times, and by April 2020, had been downloaded over 2 million times. In third place, Sky Children of Light. This is a social indie adventure game, developed and published by that game company. It was first released for iOS on July 18, 2019. An Android version was later released on April 7, 2020. In Sky Children of the Light, the player explores a magical kingdom using a cape that gives them the ability to fly. There are 7 unique realms to visit, and each one is themed around a different stage of life. Throughout the game, the player will encounter spirits that give the player cosmetic and gameplay-affecting items in return for in-game currency. The player can also find lost stars that give the player wing light. When the player has collected enough wing light, their cape level goes up, increasing their maximum wing energy and allowing them to fly farther. The game features a heavy focus on social mechanics. Players are able to meet and befriend one another, and can unlock new abilities such as chat and sending gifts as their friendship grows. Also worth mentioning is the splendid soundtrack that makes the gamer perfectly identify with the images on the screen. In second place, Legends of Runeterra. The game officially launched on April 2020, and is a trading card game. It pits you against other players in PvP card battles, where you duke it out for supremacy on the game board, using your best deck. Cards are based on characters and abilities from the League of Legends universe. You can play the game solo, against friends, or random opponents online. Each player begins the match with a hand of 4 playing cards, randomly selected from their card deck, a 20 health point nexus, and 0 mana. Before the match begins, each player also has the option to trade out any of the first 4 cards they drew, for random different ones from their deck. To play cards, players must spend mana gems. There are 3 types of cards: champions, followers, and spells. Champions are the most powerful cards in the game, and each has a criterion that, once met, will level up the card to a more powerful version. Followers consist of all other normal playable cards, and spells cause effects when played. At the end of each round, any unused mana becomes spell mana, up to a maximum of 3. This mana can only be used to cast spell cards. The objective of the game is to bring the opponent's nexus to 0 health points. In first place of the top 7 best Android game, Call of Duty Mobile. Call of Duty Mobile is without a doubt the best FPS game on Android. It is without equal and it just keeps getting better. Call of Duty Mobile is a free-to-play first-person shooter developed by TiMi Studios and published by Activision for Android and iOS. It was released worldwide on October 1, 2019. In its first month, the game had over 148 million downloads and generated nearly $54 million in revenue, making it the largest mobile game launch in history. By the end of 2019, the game already secured over 180 million downloads within just 3 months of launch, becoming the most downloaded game of the fourth quarter and second most downloaded game of the year. Call of Duty Mobile has 3 game modes: multiplayer, battle royale, and zombies. Apart from battling with random players online, a private room for both the multiplayer and battle royale modes can also be accessed where players can invite and battle with just their in-game friends. Recently, the game just launched into its 6th season, called Once Upon a Time in Rust. The new season ushers in a host of new weapon skins, new soldiers, and of course new maps and game modes. Thank you! Thank you to have been with me. Don't forget to subscribe to the Top 7 TV YouTube channel. Love you all!